Hey guys, it's ANicWin, also known as Amy, and happy Saturday. I hope you're having a lovely day. This is what I'm calling a cute Suburban. It might be titled something else. You'll know before I know because that's the way the internet works. But this is a step back from cottages, from anything remotely rural or rustic or country or whatever. I needed a break. I needed a palate cleanser. Again, you can only do so many of them before you're a little bit burnt out almost. And that's not really my building style anyway, so it wasn't something that was like super intuitive for me to make, if that makes sense. So, and I say that like I know what my building style is. I've got no clue. I just know that's not something I typically gravitate towards. So this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom a family home. It is on the small side. It is not a small residential lot or anything like that, so you won't get any perks, but it is not like super spacious on the interior, but it's not so small that you can't like live comfortably, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking my backstory for this one is that it's a single female sim. I definitely decorated this for a female. And she is probably a late young adult, not quite a full adult in Sims years. And she's got a partner who I don't think lives with her full time. I think it's that milestone where they have like the key, right? Like they have a house key. They come over quite a bit, but they don't live there. So they've got like a drawer is what I'm saying in the dresser. They've got some dresser space. They've definitely got like a little corner of the medicine cabinet, but they're not like full-blown committed to the living together thing yet. And then she's got a kid brother that lives with her. Now, I'm not thinking that this is like a sad situation. I think the parents are still very much so in the picture. What I'm imagining is that it's a situation where he's like a late in life baby. If you don't know what that means like right before right before they become elders. This is just strictly like the definition in the Sims world, not like real life. But, right before they turned into elders, they gave birth and they just barely made it through like the toddler years. And at this point, they're like struggling to keep up with the active lifestyle of the child sim. Because in Sims world, once you hit elder, you could go any day. Like there's no guarantee that you're going to make it to any set number of days. So I think they gave him a choice of who he wanted to live with. And he decided that he was going to live full time with his sister. I think realistically, they probably did it on like a trial basis. Like they had him stay with her for like a week and then he'd go home and then they'd go back, like back and forth like that. And then eventually they were like, right, which one do you prefer? And, that's the choice that he made. I don't know if that's something that would happen in real life. Well, I know siblings live with their siblings all the time. I just mean like the split custody type thing. I'm not sure if that's something that would really be realistic, but for story play, that's what we're doing. I was also thinking that this particular sim isn't sure if they want to be a parent themselves just yet. And I think they might be getting, I'm going to say pressure, but just know when I use the word pressure, I don't mean like, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but I think they're being a little bit pressured from their partner to make a decision because their partner does want at least one child. And yeah, that's a pretty big deal. That can be a contentious point in relationships because that is a life change, obviously. So their partner is all for this. They're like, yes, maybe this will change your mind, or it will at least make you make up your mind. Like, I really want to start a family with you, but you need to come to that decision on your own. So it's a little bit self-serving, but we'll forgive them because I think their head, well, their heart's in the right place. Their head's a little bit screwy, but like it's fine. It'll be okay. It all comes out in the wash eventually. So as you can see, the front yard came together fairly quickly. The backyard, I kind of wanted it to look like it was not part of the original like design to have kid items out there. So I chose to obviously line it with bushes, but I chose to throw out the play tent, which just looks like it's a little pop-up thing that she purchased for him. And I give him, I think, a toy box and a soccer ball, I believe, because all of those items are usable. It's not a ton of yard space, but she's definitely trying to make him feel, more comfortable, like this is his home, because essentially, like it or not, and I think she does like it, but essentially this is his home. This is where he's going to stay until he moves out and, you know, starts to kind of do life on his own, which is a very scary thought. I think if you're not ready for that role, but you've taken it on anyway, like you've made that sacrifice, this could get dicey real fast, guys. But I like this kind of storyline, so this is typically how I play the game. I am giving them a little tiny roof piece over this back porch. It just felt a little too open. It felt a little bit too awkward and flat in the back. I'm also giving them a little bit of a patio set, nothing too fancy. And then in the front, we do a couch and a table. And there are a few planter boxes. I always add a few to my builds. I don't always garden, but like I like to have the option if I need to do it for like a career opportunity or I need something specific. I can make it happen if I need to. If not, I can just get rid of it. That's kind of why you always see that. And then we jump into the kitchen. Now this is a very cutesy kitchen, and it's not something I typically make, but I like it. I'm shocked that I like the way that it turned out so much. News to me, pink, no surprise, not my favorite color. I'm a purple fan, always have been. I like purples, I like blues, I like really dark greens, and I like yellow, but like think earthy tones. Don't think like neon. Ugh. Don't think neon or like Crayola. Go beyond both of those. I like them to be toned down quite a bit. But yeah, so I'm just adding the clutter and things for her kitchen. I did use those neon wall signs. I actually like those quite a bit. I think they give so much character to a build. I decided to throw in a half wall and add some clutter up on top of that ledge. They look a little blank sometimes, the half walls do. I'm not a fan of using them without necessarily adding something to it. And I did briefly think about decorating the wall, the half part of the wall, the lower half of it, but it ended up being a little too cluttered with the stuff on top, so I elected to keep the stuff on top instead. I throw up a little like book collection which your sim can pull books from and read from, which is cool. Wasn't sure if that would work. A candle, some cards, some pictures, and then I think she's got that little flower pot that her brother made for her, maybe when he was in preschool or something, and she's just kept it all these years. And then I do give them a 4-piece dining set. I was initially thinking the space would be too small. It ended up fitting fine. All the chairs work, and that was a pleasant little surprise that I did not expect, but was still very thrilled about. And of course I added some country kitchen kit decor. I can't stop using that. I wasn't using it really with cottage living a whole lot, but I love those pieces. I think they work in any build, and like I'll die on this hill. I think that's my favorite kit that they put out so far. That's just me though. And then we eventually move on into the living room here. I do place a fireplace right where I put the chimney. I don't always do that just because it doesn't always work out with the floor plan, but I saw my opportunity and I took it. And I'm just continuing on with that kind of white pink. There are some blues. I did not want this house to be completely oversaturated with those colors, so I do add in a few other things, but I wanted it to definitely look like that sim lived here, that this was her space, and I wanted it to carry through, and hopefully that comes through just a little bit. I'm giving her a little office nook. I don't think she works from home, but I've been excluding computers from my builds so often lately that I decided I needed to stop and make sure I threw one in, and this little corner was perfect. I was initially going to put a play corner back here and decided that that didn't quite fit the storyline. So I went ahead and set up her little office space. It's not really an office, but I went ahead and set this up for her anyway. And then I add a little kitty corner right below where this picture is going to be, but I think I placed the couch first. Yeah, I definitely do this first. But I do add some kid items. It's just to show that there is a kid living here now, even if they weren't initially here. They're definitely here. They're definitely welcome. That was the intention behind that. And I do add the family bulletin board. This sim strikes me as someone who isn't super serious, but like she's trying to be more consistent for him, for his sake. So I thought the appearance of a schedule would kind of showcase that in such a way. And then we move on into the entryway. I did decide to use paneling in this space, in the upstairs landing, and a little bit, I believe, in the master bedroom. I can't recall now if I left it because I definitely changed it. But I'm not a fan of like the shiplap look. It's not really something I gravitate towards in real life. It's I don't know, it makes me think of Chip and Joanna Gaines, who design lovely spaces, if you've ever seen, their shows or anything like that, but it's not a style that I love. It's just a little too country for me. So I typically stray away from it, but I do love this paneling, and I don't know, I liked it for this space, so I made that commitment. It is a commitment, and I carried it all the way through, and I ended up loving it. There were quite a few moments, especially while decorating this space and upstairs, where I was like, I'm gonna end up changing this. I don't know what I'm gonna change it to. And once the final piece was placed, I was completely in love. And then we jump into the bedroom, or not the bedroom, the bathroom. This was initially just a guest bathroom. It's got a tub and all of that. And I wanted it to look like it was set up as a space for guests to use and not necessarily with a child in mind. So a lot of the decorations and things like that are more adult. And then I shoved some more toys in the corner here behind the bathtub just to kind of give a sneak peek at the fact that there is a child living here. And then we move on to his bedroom. Now I'm imagining that this was probably an empty space, just like an extra bonus room, and she had it decorated especially for him. She probably let him choose kind of what went in here, and this is like his little haven. This is where he comes and he's allowed to kind of throw his toys around and leave things out and be kind of messy and be authentically himself, which I love that idea because kids aren't very neat. I don't know any kid that's super super neat, and I like making messy bright kids rooms. It sparks joy for me. And I think this is where you kind of see his personality really start to shine in this room. He's definitely a vivacious, vibrant, sweet kid, I think, who obviously loves baseball. And I am just kind of placing some more elements. I really tried very very hard to make, you're going to see it here in a second, these little like surfboard thing, or they're not surfboards, like skateboard things work. And I felt like it was too old because I'm imagining him to be about 7, right? So it felt a little too mature, but like maybe that's something to keep in mind as he ages, if you guys download this and create that kind of a family. And I did throw up some posters because I'm thinking maybe he got them at like a book fair or something. That's a throwback. And he wanted to place them on his wall because he purchased them, and it's his thing. He's starting to show his own personality and kind of really decide who he is. I also love this bookcase, and I think it came with my first pet stuff, and I think it's underrated and underused. It's so good for kids' rooms. It's not super big, and they come in fun colors. Some of them are a little bit too much, but most of them are okay. And it's like the perfect amount of like kid friendly. I don't know. I love that bookshelf. And then we move on to the master bathroom, and I love this space, and I don't know what it's saying about me that I'm starting to really like bathrooms. I don't really want to like analyze that thought too closely, but I just love the way that this turned out. So I decided to use a wall divider in place of like a shower stall, so I could kind of create this sort of open shower feeling, but not too open. I like that it kind of looks like that shower divider could slide just a little bit, like a sliding door. And I add a plant, a little towel rack, and then I use the same sink and toilet from the bathroom downstairs because I like using the same fixtures. I think it makes the house or the home look a little bit more consistent. And I think, yes, I add a little cabinet. I never have enough rooms and bathrooms to use these. And when I realized I finally had the space, I was like, right, okay, how do we make this happen? Then of course I throw in Frank the Friendly Ficus, which is one of my favorite plants. It has been since like day 0. And then we move on to her bedroom. Now I was initially going to use that wallpaper from Cottage Living. I decided not to. I decided I've been using it too often, and I still wanted the pink to kind of reflect, and I think I landed on a vampire stuff wallpaper. I'm pretty sure. And I love that one. Yeah, that's the one with like the little medallion looking thing. I don't actually know what that print is. I've never looked at it too closely. And I did use the Cottage Living bed just because I really like the metal frame. I add a dresser, and I'm going to clutter it up just a little bit. This room is pretty simple. I didn't add a ton of stuff, or at least I didn't go overboard like I normally do. At least for me, I don't think I did. I did take one of these storage bins and I used it as a jewelry box. I want a jewelry box or like a jewelry stand or something in this game so badly that doesn't look like it belongs to a small child. I just want more clutter. Like, EA, give us a clutter kit already. Even one for the bathroom. Like, we just need some stuff. We need things, stuff and things. And then I give her a little bench. Both sides of the bed are accessible. Everything in the room is accessible, and it looks a little tight, but it also looks cozy, and I'm really pleased with the way that it turned out. Then we're going to jump into the landing area and swap out some curtains. So I'm going to leave you guys here. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like or comment down below letting me know what you think. You can also subscribe if that's something that would spark joy for you. I will be posting the screenshots on Instagram if you want to hop over there and check those out. I will also be seeing you on Wednesday when I post my next video. In the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.
Thought I was losing who I call myself today in this world of illusions. Didn't dare to sing my name. That was when you came along, and I don't know where I would be or where I'll go if you weren't steady next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. Life can be unfair. I just couldn't handle it. Still smell the bitter taste of misery and unfaith. I just need to love you like I do, 'cause I don't know where I would be or where I'll go if you weren't steady next to me. Your arms have carried me for miles. Here's where I belong. I've been running away from now and everything I've seen, recalling the things I won't remembering. Remembering a feel, I can't deny it. Just wanna hide it and let it go away. But you have shown me that I can be free and face the world.